November 2024, 524 people stood in Accra and took an oath of allegiance. Most of them were African Americans. They were becoming citizens of Ghana. And when it was over, grown adults waved flags and cried. Not because they found opportunity, because they found something they couldn't name. Something they'd been missing their entire lives. This isn't a trickle, it's a pattern. Since 2019, at least 1,500 African Americans have moved to Ghana. Thousands more have gone to Kenya,
Rwanda,
South Africa, Benin. They're teachers, nurses, tech workers, entrepreneurs, and they're not coming back. The movement has a name, Blaxit, Black Exit, and it's accelerating. Here's what's driving it. In 2024, 34% of Americans said they wanted to live abroad. That's up from 10% in 1974. But for Black Americans, the reasons go deeper than economics or adventure. They're leaving because staying feels unsustainable. Because the weight of navigating racism every single day has become unbearable. And because, for the first time in generations, there are places actively welcoming them home. Ghana started it. In 2018, President Nana Akufo-Addo traveled to Washington and issued an invitation. Come home. The year of return. It was time to mark 400 years since the first enslaved Africans arrived in Jamestown, Virginia, in 1619. Ghana wasn't just offering tourism, it was offering identity, belonging, a pathway to citizenship for anyone descended from the transatlantic slave trade, and people responded. In 2019 alone, 750,000 visitors came to Ghana, most from the United States. The program brought in $1.9 billion. But more importantly, it brought people who stayed, entrepreneurs who opened businesses, families who enrolled their children in Ghanaian schools, retirees who bought land. And in November 2024, 524 of them became citizens in the single largest naturalization ceremony in Ghana's history. Kekia Bowers was one of them. She moved from Florida to Ghana in 2023 with her husband and 2 children. She said when she got her Ghanaian passport, she cried, not for herself, for her ancestors, the ones who were taken from this coast in chains, the ones who never made it back. That passport, she said, is for them.
But my ancestors who wanted to return and come back home, those ancestors who never made it back, their dying wish was to come back to their home, and they never made it. That passport for me is for them.
This isn't nostalgia, it's survival. Austin Holloman, an American YouTuber who settled in Nairobi, said the social fabric in the United States is broken. He feels safer in Kenya, not because crime is lower, it's not, but because he doesn't have to think about his skin color every time he leaves the house. People look like me, he said. I fit in here.
So I picked Kenya because I feel the safest here. People look similar to me.
Adila Mohammed runs a relocation company in Kenya. She moved there 4 days after her mother's funeral. Now she helps other African Americans make the same transition. House hunting, banking, healthcare, all of it. By April 2025, she'd helped 15 families relocate. She calls it a movement. Their shackles are being broken, she said. Chains are being thrown away mentally. But this movement didn't start in 2019. It started centuries ago. The idea of African Americans returning to Africa goes back to the 1820s when emancipated black people founded Liberia. Marcus Garvey championed it in the 1920s with his Back to Africa movement. W.E.B. Du Bois moved to Ghana in 1961 at age 93 and is buried in Accra. Maya Angelou lived there, wrote about it. The pull has always existed, but for most of history, the infrastructure didn't. Now it does. Ghana offers right of abode to anyone of African descent. Live there indefinitely, work, invest. After 5 years of residency, you can apply for citizenship. The application costs $980. Not cheap. But compared to what people are leaving behind, it's manageable. Sierra Leone goes further. If you can prove DNA ancestry, citizenship is fast-tracked. Benin is moving toward granting citizenship to anyone who can trace their roots to Africa. Rwanda is actively recruiting Black Americans with business skills. The doors are open. Kenya has become another hotspot, a welcoming atmosphere, strong expat communities, Nairobi especially. The cost of living is lower than major US cities. Housing in Nairobi ranges from $500 to $2,000 a month depending on location. Meals at inexpensive restaurants cost around $2. Healthcare is affordable with private insurance averaging $100 per person monthly. And for remote workers earning US salaries, the currency arbitrage is significant.
Ghana invites Black Americans to return, not to visit, but to belong. With low living costs, English-speaking schools, and deep ancestral roots, many families call it home.